I don't want to force it on you. Say good morning, and they go,
We help companies to win more business. KLT is still a fairly young business. I had a business in the business networking sector before, Aberdeen Business Network. So I was director there for 13 years. There's a huge amount of business won from the 10 groups. And that intimate way of supporting each other. But we'd like to think also a lot of friendships that have come from it as well. Worked for Kellogg cereals.
Yeah.
That was key as well too. I like cereal.
Yeah.
Always helps.
Hello, welcome back. It's another episode of Seasonal Discussions. My name's Chris. I am your host through these proceedings. Apologies, still this face, still this voice. You're stuck with it. Get used to it. If you are new to the channels, don't forget to click like, subscribe, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this, watching this. It does us a wonderful service, but it also does a wonderful service for people like Andrew Smith joining us in today's episode from KLT Networking. Andrew, how are you?
Good morning. Not bad at all. Thank you. Yourself?
Not bad. I'm always wary of using the phrase good morning because I don't want to be too presumptuous about how someone else's day has begun. Yeah. You know, it's never I don't want to force it on you. Say good morning and they go,
Yeah.
Is it?
It can be an instruction, it can be a question, but yeah, I'd like to think you're wishing somebody a good morning.
Just forcing it on them.
Forcing it on them. Fair enough.
Just don't give them an option. Yeah. Good morning as a statement more than anything else. You did mention before we started, you are coming over a cold a little bit from this past weekend. So
yeah,
if it's not always this kind of level of gravity and gravitas to your voice, this is just a remnant of the weekend's misgivings, I assume.
Yeah, the Barry White-ish voice just comes from that. And yeah, took my turn with a cold. Like it seems like everybody's had their turn, the last couple of months, and I think with hindsight, I was getting a little bit smug, thinking, yeah, everybody's been ill apart from me, and probably the moment that I thought that's why, and it was a cold, nothing more.
Let your guard down, and all of a sudden it hits you. We've got almost a rule within our household that if one person gets ill, the vitamin C tablets come out of the cupboard, and everyone has to start taking them daily. I'm pretty sure it does nothing. It doesn't really benefit us in any way, but it's just kind of the unwritten rule of start taking them now just in case. And touch wood, we've been quite lucky to avoid the worst of the colds and stuff there, but it's hitting that time of year now where everyone's starting to get down with something.
And don't get too confident. Don't get smug.
No, I'm going to get it now. Guaranteed. I've said all this now on here. Yep. I'm going to guaranteed to come down with something. Before we get into the crux of the episode then, before we get into finding out a bit more about you, KLT Networking, tell us a little bit more about that.
We help companies to win more business. KLT is still a fairly young business. It's just over a year and a half old, and we're two different services. But we're a very small team. Mm-hmm. And the number one goal through everything, is helping companies, especially local and smaller companies, to win more business. And our culture is very much about two things. It's the assisting with companies to win more business, but while enjoying ourselves too. Mm-hmm. We think the more you enjoy yourselves, at work, the more likely you are to develop relationships to help each other win more business.
Exactly.
The more business that you win, then inevitably you're enjoying yourself more.
Mm-hmm. Enjoyment, I think, is a big thing that a lot of people forget when it comes to their work life. Yeah. It's so, I know, and don't get me wrong, I don't follow the old, if you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
No, that's too simplistic.
See that. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that if you enjoy yourself, it might not feel like work all the time.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy it too much, constantly, eventually it's going to get to the point where it does just feel like work. And that enjoyment bit will start to fade off slightly. I think you've got to find that happy balance of, everyone says the balance between work life and home life. I think you have to find that balance between enjoyment and serious stage at work as well. Yes. You have to have that, not enjoyment and serious, enjoyment and professionalism, I suppose, where you have to kind of turn off the enjoyment a little bit and really get under the nitty gritty and focus on what you're doing at work.
Yes, I totally agree. And we can't, as small business owners, of course we can't, and we shouldn't look to enjoy it all the time. But if we can get maximum enjoyment, that's great. But at times, there are just things that we don't enjoy doing or look forward to, and we put off, but they just have to be, done, and that's okay. Yeah,
it's acceptable. It's not, it's not a bad thing to be focused and in work mode from time to time. Do I enjoy paperwork? No, I like sitting here recording and chatting, but paperwork's a necessity. It has to be done, so you just knuckle under and get through with it. So you've said, obviously, KLT relatively new. What kind of led to KLT becoming a thing then? How did you get to the stage where you thought, this is something I want to create?
I had a business in the business networking sector before, Aberdeen Business Network. So I was director there for 13 years and then sold that business 3 years ago.
Yeah.
During that time, I always had an idea in mind for a networking skills training company. Aberdeen Business Network had a number of different networking services.
Yeah.
It was all about meeting one-to-one or in small groups or event formats. And there was a little bit of training, but not much. And I took huge satisfaction if it was helping an individual or helping groups, even just informally with their networking journeys. It was almost like meeting somebody at their very first networking event and seeing just how nervous, how uncomfortable they were, and trying to just help a little bit, encourage others to help, and then maybe seeing them at their second event and their 10th event, and how they're starting to relax and develop relationships and understand networking more and get more from it as a result. So it was pretty close to like the back of a fag packet, notes that I'd taken. I had an A4 bit of paper and where I'd written some notes in pencil from my time with Aberdeen Business, with ABN. And obviously I wasn't very confident the fact I'd written it in pencil.
This can be removed if necessary.
But I kept that. So that after the business sale, I had a bit of time to myself, and I thought, I'm going to take on a part-time role, going to support what was an ABN client, and I'm going to start to develop the idea, to research, to speak with people, to see if there is mileage in a specialist networking skills training company, and that was how KLT came about.
So was it all just yourself then? Was KLT just you, your idea? How many other people did you have to get on board to turn this idea into a reality?
Just me.
Just
me
you?
to start with, yes. And I expected the training delivery, to be just from me. And that was how it kicked off. So although the client base moved quite quickly in terms of individual clients, and then I moved to companies. So in terms of people coming on board, that support was great. And also there were mentors, there were guides there that had helped in the sort of the before and in the early days as well. But it wasn't until we purchased a service from my previous business, our 10 sales intel groups, and that was when I then have a colleague then who manages that. So we're a team of 2 now.
I think
double the size of the company.
Yeah, I was going to say you've doubled in size. That's the good way to put it. We've been a team of 2 since we started in here, so we can't double just yet. We're doubling the workload, but somehow not doubling the amount of actual help that we've got doing things. You mentioned the 10 aspect things are there, and a lot of people will see obviously the 10 groups that are always advertised or always posted about on LinkedIn and across a lot of different social medias. Those things have become really, really productive hubs for people to get together, sit, chat, and I think they take that non-serious aspect a lot of the time of, let's make things enjoyable, let's make things comfortable and approachable. Was it your idea, the creation of so many small groups? How many 10 groups are there now?
15.
15 in total. 15 10s. It's an easy way to remember it. And they've all got individual people who manage them almost as such. How do they actually work? How do the 10s group work? For anyone who's seen them online and thinks, the hell is this? How do we get involved with them? What are they?
Okay. Yeah, the structure is that I'm overseeing the 10 groups. The 10 groups relationships manager is my colleague Siobhan Jaffrey. And Siobhan then supports the 15 group managers who then manage and run, each of their 10 groups. And it is, it's as you've kind of said there, it's 10 non-competing businesses or non-competing individuals who get together once a fortnight for an hour, share what's going on in the marketplace, what's going on with them, and also, crucially, how we can help each other. Now, they're not networking events because essentially, once a group is full, it's the same group of people, same fairly small group of people. So therefore, the groups are intimate. They get to know each other better by meeting every fortnight. And because of that, there's a structure to each group and each group meeting. But because it's more intimate, because they're getting to know each other better all the time, it means that there can be that balance of let's help each other, with new opportunities to win more business, but also let's get to know each other well and let's have a few laughs as well. And let's go out for lunch or go out for drinks or go out for coffees to meet one-on-one, 2, 3, 4 people, meet up, have a Christmas night out. Yeah. And of course that just brings the group closer together. There's a huge amount of business won from the 10 groups. And that intimate way of supporting each other. but we'd like to think also a lot of friendships that have come from it as well.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm not a member of them personally. I know Zara obviously attends on our behalf, as it were, and we're always, so again, it's one of those things, and I want to put it out there for everyone. There is a lot of opportunity that people always offer up about these networking things that you can come along to and learn this and find this, and a lot of the time it's big groups of people who, I'm going to sound like a bit of a twat for saying this, but I feel free. It's me who's saying it, so it's fine. It's a lot of people who are very keen to talk about themselves and promote themselves and say how awesome they are. And I think when it comes to winning business and meeting new people, it's not about what you've done for yourself. It's about what you can do for other people, what you can give to other people, and what you can provide. And these 10 groups have certainly done that. Zara's not the most socially outgoing individual. Neither of us are, to be brutally honest. We both like to just sit at home with the dog and chill out. We're teetotal. We don't go out very often. We don't drink. We're quite happy in our own company. But she's come out of her shell quite a bit as well, because she finds herself a lot more comfortable coming along to these intimate sessions. She feels more confident in speaking to people because she's had the opportunity to sit in not a massive group, but a manageable number of people where she can get to know other individuals, and as a result start to learn more about other businesses as well. So the 10 groups that KLT put on are genuinely very, very beneficial, not just for businesses, but for people.
Individuals, yeah.
And again, businesses don't exist without people behind them, sadly. So they're a massive thing. They're a big credit to what KLT put on as a whole. So a massive congratulations for everything you've done with them. They are, to be as successful as they are for how new KLT is, speaks volumes for what they actually provide.
Thank you.
It's worthwhile.
Worth me saying though, the groups, the first 10 group was launched just over 16 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, the groups are old, but obviously, KLT's involvement.
Yeah.
is you're talking just over a year since we bought these groups. So yeah, it's a lot.
And they're still growing. That's the thing. There's always a lot of active interest within them as well. Because obviously members will, as you'll find with all of these kind of things going on, members will come and go. People will think, I've got everything I can out of this, or move on, or it didn't quite fit. There's no perfect one fit.
No
one thing fits all for
leaves,
everything.
Chris. We get them to sign a contract in blood.
Permanently
Nobody
in.
leaves.
Everyone's ingrained into it as they go. That's how we got in. That's why we got Zara to do it. My blood's not worthwhile. Hers is more valuable as Essex blood in Aberdeen. She's got more value to it. But it never feels like, oh, this person's not there anymore. Oh, it's fine. The next person comes in. There's always that personal connection. So if someone's away, there's still involvement with the people within that group to the person who maybe has moved on to do different things. Yeah. And do people tend to move sort of between groups as well? Have you found that some people will come from one to the other, or are they inter-transfers?
Free transfers.
Yeah, anyone get promoted from the youth leagues to the senior team? We go from the juniors to the senior pennants.
It does happen some of the time, these moves, but not very often.
Fair.
And that's because if you've spent months, years, in that intimate setting with the same people, you just want to make these relationships stronger and stronger. But it does happen some of the time. For example, if if a member, the group meets on a Wednesday morning, and it then turns out their team meeting at work, has been changed every Wednesday morning, it just wouldn't work. So they come to us and say, this just can't be done anymore. Have you got a group that meets any time apart from a Wednesday morning?
Yeah.
So it does happen some of the time, but normally it's the same. It's the same group, and I think but some of the some of the longest term members, then it's the same group, and it's about making these small number relationships just better and better.
Aye, it's always circumstantial that people might have to move on. It's never I don't get on with these people, I have to move away, because I don't think anyone in Aberdeen, I mean, you mentioned earlier, these are non-competing businesses usually amongst each other. One of the things we've spoke about a few times is the idea of competition when it comes to small business. I tend to it doesn't exist to me. I'm not, anyone else who's on the same level, season aren't competing with them, where I'd rather collaborate with people than compete with people. Because I think if you compete too much, you end up in a bickering war with other places, and you're competing against them, which doesn't put the client first to get what they need. We're specialists in audio more than we are video. If someone's a specialist in video, I'd rather work together with them to put something together that benefits a client than I would compete with them to get the business just to come to us, because we could have put a better product together if we just worked together. And I think these collaboration things are massive when it comes to networking now.
Yeah, and it's great that you see competition in those terms, and I think others do. I think it just comes down to it's been my experience, it just comes down to the individual.
Yeah.
And I believe, that those that, they see opportunities for collaboration first, plus they look forward to chatting to their so-called competitors, because nobody else understands their bit of the marketplace like their competitors, their peers. So why not, have a chat with them, and who knows what'll come from it. And just, life's too short as well.
Exactly.
But not everybody sees it that way.
No.
I get if you're in a more niche market, really sort of small potential client base, but I think there's so much opportunity where we see potential competition as potential. Just have a chat.
Exactly. Well, that's what we're here to do today. We found out obviously a bit more about KLT. I want to know a bit more about you, because obviously we met originally. You'd met Zara beforehand, but we met at it was one of the Chamber of Commerce maximize your membership things, which I think we've been to every month since we joined the chamber now. Go along to them all the time. But we got talking because I was upset about the lack of ketchup at one of the things and rocked up with these sachets of them in my pocket instead. Had to be done. But it turns out we actually had a bit more in common than we thought.
Yeah.
Dogs at home, golf outside of it. There's a lot that goes on outside of life or outside of work in life that you think, hang on a minute, you're someone I might never have crossed paths with before. So you are a golfer. Whereabouts where's your home course? Where do you play normally?
Royal Aberdeen.
Royal Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been a member there?
2 years.
2 years. Where were you before that?
I was at Mercer before.
Oh, okay.
And then Montrose. From Montrose originally.
Yeah.
So I was a member there for, about 100 years.
You've been golfing for, were you one of those who picked up the clubs as a younger person, or did you pick it up a bit later in life?
It's a youngish. I mean, you hear about, kids getting into it sort of 2, 3, 4 years old. Yeah. I was 10.
Oh, that counts.
My father, Montrose has got a rich golf history. Montrose,
oh, yeah.
Fifth oldest golf course in the world. That they were playing there in 1562. 2 different courses, multiple golf clubs, high number of season ticket holders. So there's real golf culture in Montrose. And I got into it at age 10. My father played, my grandfather, he played as well.
Yeah.
And then, there's a sort of where I'm from in the family, there's a strong golf culture.
Whether you liked it or not, you were going to start playing at some point.
Fortunately, I liked it. Unfortunately, I was.
Yeah, I often found that. Did you have that same sort of? Did you ever get dragged out to caddy for dad or granddad before you actually started playing yourself? That was my first sort of indoctrination into golf, I think, because my father had been playing since he was knee height with a grasshopper, as he would put it himself. And my first thing, before he'd even put a club in my hand, was, you're coming out with me on the course, you're going to caddy for me, you're going to carry my clubs. And I thought, why am I coming out and carrying these things exactly? But that was my first sort of experience of going out on a golf course. Did you ever get dragged out as a caddy to start with?
No, not at all.
You lucky man.
Yeah. I think with hindsight, it was probably that my father, was looking forward to a break from everybody else who was in the house.
He didn't want anyone else coming out with him.
But where we lived at Montrose, this is as I was getting into golf, we were quite close to the back of the 13th green. What was called the Gates, and then the 14th. And I would then just sort of turn up there to see him and his pals coming through. And I remember, some of his pals would say, "Oh, fine to see you, Andrew. You need to bring us some stuff, or bring us some drink or whatever, or bring us something to eat." So, of course, the penny dropped, and I would then go back the next week, and I would take them, something to eat, rouse, whatever. And that, I kind of did a little bit of that. I just, probably, again, my hindsight, probably wanted to spend time with him. And I just got, that golf, I wanted to see the big boys, the adults doing it as well. But I never actually caddied for my father or my grandfather.
No, I had no choice. That was my first thing. And I was taken into the golf club. We were both, he was a member of the Cali Golf Club down in Golf Road. Had been for 40 years, ended up as a life member. So I was I started playing at 16, but from the age of 11, 12, I was known within the club because I'd be coming down, I'd be getting Dad's clubs out of the locker for him, getting everything ready. So I was known in the club before I even started swinging a club myself. I played 1 year as a junior at 16, won 4 out of the 9 competitions that they played as a junior. And then as it came to moving up to the adult side of things, I stopped playing competitively because I just thought I can't top what I've just done as a junior. I'm not going to go into the seniors and start playing the same and start getting that kind of level out of it. But he used to get frustrated. Father always got frustrated with, why don't you take it more seriously? Why don't you play more? why don't you practice more? You could be good. Play more. Did you ever get the pressure from any of those above to just play more or do more or be involved more?
Never.
No?
No. My father just wasn't. Yeah, just wasn't like that.
Yeah. Do you think that helped you though?
Yeah. Yeah. He was very. Yeah, it was very encouraging. But yeah, never pushed. Never said you need to do this, need to do that. And saying that, I remember in my sort of then into teenage years when the drinking started, there was maybe a couple of Sunday morning competitions or Sunday morning opens I missed. He made it very clear what his thoughts were at that stage.
Aye.
And that's very reasonable. But no, he never pushed me. So it wasn't like that.
That was good. So what kind of guidance did you have coming through, obviously younger, playing golf? You mentioned about being in a line of work for a long time before KLT came along, or with a particular company for a long time. What did your journey look like coming through school, coming into education, coming into further ed, and getting started in the workplace?
Yeah, I had no idea what I wanted to do.
No?
when I grew up, and I was very fortunate that after the business studies at university, and then there was a graduate gateway program, and I worked for a golf company, golf equipment manufacturer, Swilken of St Andrews. Worked for them in St Andrews, and then after that in Aberdeen. And I was very fortunate. A whole number of different things came together. My boss then was also a former professional footballer. Later on in his career, he played football for Montrose. He was a keen golfer, a good golfer. He also had a strong entrepreneurial spirit as well. And in terms of the workplace that time at Swilken, and that time working for Dave, that was key then. That was my first job. After that, a number of different sales roles, some local, some for the field, some for small businesses. Worked for Kellogg's cereals. That was key as well too. I like cereal.
Always helps.
Again, you're looking back, the amount of Cocoa Pops, I don't know if that is good for me. But the sales training there was absolutely brilliant. So I continued in sales or BD roles then for about a decade.
I think sales is kind of like that gateway drug into work. It really is. It's like that gateway guidance into doing things. So many people come through the sales route, and you either progress within it, or you kind of realize just how much you can't stand sales. I fell out of it. We had a news agents when I was growing up. Most of my uncles all had news agents. D Valley Confectionery, I've spoken about before on here, out of Ballater. That's my uncle's business. So working in sales for me was kind of like, it was a no-brainer. It was going to happen. But I think I found over time that developed into more the people connection. So it's amazing how sales can lead you to the right kind of path that you want to go into. Even if it's not staying in sales as a whole, you can develop skills within sales that then make you think, this is what I can turn it into. Do you think your time in there helps shape what you're doing now?
Yeah, very, very much so. And just, that thing about the type of sales. And it's, for a long time now, it's been relationship building sales. It's what I do. So I think it's not actually sales. It's investing in a two-way relationship. Of course, hoping if there's a fit that the other person may buy, or if they're not a fit, they may recommend to somebody else in time. So that time in sales, and that, like work for small little companies, work for a huge company like Kellogg's, gave me that experience and the time, to understand that I liked sales, get a real buzz from sales, but my type of selling, which is relationship based.
I think that's a key thing to find for a lot of people, is what type of selling you enjoy. Because there's so many people hear selling and they'll think you're working in a shop, you're selling a thing to a person. It's not always about selling a thing to a person. If it was, there wouldn't be as many people who class themselves as salesmen in the world nowadays. It's, we were always told if you can sell ice to an Eskimo, you're doing well. But I'm like, that's not the kind of sales that I enjoy. I'm the same. I like selling stories to people, telling stories of what's going on. And it's so different, but it's great. It's that same sort of people connection that you've got coming out of the networking side of things and building relationships for people. It's a wonderful thing to get out of it. You get a nice little buzz to yourself coming out.
Yes, and that is why why I do what I do, that buzz when a client, the buzz of the sale is great, but a greater buzz is if a client says, thanks to, a service that we're delivering, a service they've signed up for, a connection that we've helped them to make.
Yeah.
If they say that has led to whatever, and it could be a friendship. In terms of business one, if they say it's led to £100 sale or 1,000 or 1,000,000, the figure doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
The buzz I get from that is massive.
Yeah.
And that's as big now as it was 15,
Yeah.
20 years ago.
See, that still maintaining that same level of satisfaction, that buzz is really important to just sticking around and continuously doing the same thing repeatedly. It's, if you deal with different people, you could be doing the same thing constantly, but if you're dealing with different people doing it, it still generates that same warmth, that same happiness, that same positive vibe where you go, no, I'm doing the right thing and I want to keep doing this now going forward. So obviously you mentioned you're from Montrose originally.
Yeah.
Was it work that took you up to Aberdeen then, or was it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I mentioned Swilcan, who then had opened retail units, one in Glasgow, one here, and I was asked if I would come here and work and then run the Aberdeen, and that was what brought me here.
Yeah. So have you stayed in Aberdeen? Did you live in Aberdeen at the time, or were you commuting up from Montrose?
Well, moved here.
Yeah.
And haven't been able to get rid of it.
I was going to say, never say haven't regretted it so far, but haven't been back so far at the very least.
I've not been able to get rid of it since, and that's 30 years.
Yeah.
And obviously, I thoroughly enjoy living here. If I didn't, I wouldn't have been here 30 years. But that was with Swilcan was what brought me.
Yeah, because obviously a lot of people will find there's differences between whether or not work takes them up here, whether or not personal life takes them up, education takes them up to Aberdeen. But obviously you've got a young family as well at home. Did you find it easy enough to settle into Aberdeen when you moved up? Because it is a bit of a difference from Montrose to Aberdeen. You go from that smaller area to, I don't want to say big city life, because Aberdeen's just a village at the end of the day. It's a village that classes itself as a city. But did you settle in okay when you came up this far?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it because Montrose is pretty much halfway in between Aberdeen and Dundee. It meant that we and my pals, we spent time in Aberdeen, Dundee, so I was reasonably familiar with it. Had friends that were here. My father went to college here, and I like Aberdeen. It's got good quality golf courses.
Yes, that does help.
Obviously helped as well. And it settled in. I felt like settled in very, very quickly.
Yeah, even if some of those members of the golf courses are people like David Harris, who you have to tolerate every so often.
That's the award-winning David Harris. Not a problem.
Multi-award winning now, from what I can tell. They just won, Body We Golf just won another one.
Yes, that
was it. International incoming. There's so much. I need to get David on this. I've spoke to him before. We used to do some free advertising for him. I forgot. We've got the old Tom Morris trail hat up on the shelf.
Yeah.
I used to have it on the back. I sent him a bill a while ago, just going, I've been advertising your product for so long now. And I never realised that we were advertising it. So, David, if you're getting this, expect the bill coming in the post.
Bill with inflation. Index cent.
Have you had a chance to play any of the courses on the old Tom Trail?
What are they?
Good question. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. There's 18 of them in total. But likes of St Andrews is obviously on there. The old course is on. There's as far north as... Oh, for goodness sake, I had the list written down somewhere as well. But I know there's 18 courses. This trail that they've created, they're obviously all made by... or all courses that had a connection to old Tom Morris. Originally, Cruden Bay is one we did a bit of recording up there. Some gorgeous courses to get out and play.
Yeah, well, I've played the two you've mentioned.
There we go.
Yeah, so we're okay. In fact, I took time recently. I read a few months back about a local guy, and I think he's a member at Cruden Bay and at Royal Aberdeen. And his quest was to play, he's now in his 70s, to play every golf course in Scotland, which he's now achieved. So I was asked a question at home, how many courses have you played in Scotland? I was like, shit, I've got
not a clue.
So I started writing them down, and I'd played just over 100. At that stage it was 101 courses that I'd played. So I probably put a few in the 18.
Aye.
But you're talking roughly 550 courses in Scotland. So I've got a long way to go.
See, it's the thing, people don't realise just how many there are. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, like in Aberdeen, a lot of people know the municipal courses. They're the two at Hazelheads, the Links, Ballinagask, and they'll know of a few others that are dotted around. But there's so many more than people think. Just in Aberdeen alone,
yes,
like 500 plus in Scotland. It's like everyone gets these. I'm going to climb all the Munros or do whatever. And it's just like, try doing the golf courses as well.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, this guy was in his 70s, and I can't remember how long ago it was he said that he started. But yeah, I mean, it'd taken him decades to
Aye.
build up. But I was 101.
Mm.
Yeah, 101, and there were 3 in the area that hadn't played, and I hadn't played Kintour or Balnagask or Inverurie. So in the last year, played Kintour for the first time. Really enjoyed that. The views from up on top on the 80th tee I thought were terrific.
Gorgeous.
Played Balnagask a few weeks ago on like a proper windy day, and yes, loved that. Loved that.
Did you have a Sherpa and a guide to get you around?
Fortunately, I hit it quite well, and yeah, almost made it round without losing the balls. Really good about it. So just Inverurie to go now.
Just Inverurie left.
Yeah, cover the area.
I hadn't played Balnagask in so long. I made my playing partner for our club. We thought, come on, we'll get in a round elsewhere. So we went down to Links and played one because that used to be my course before we moved to Hazelhead. And he went up and played Balnagask without me. I've still not had a chance to go up recently. And he said at the time, he goes, you need someone who knows the course to come round with you because it's so easy to get lost and not know where you're going on that place.
Totally. I was fortunate the guy I was playing with had played there a few times before, because if I'd gone there on my own, yeah, I would hit and think, oh, I've ripped that one away, and then think, oh, I'll get over the top of the hill. Shit.
So where's it going?
Down the road. So no, I had that guide, and I really look forward to going back. And the same with Kintour. It was 2 very different courses.
Yeah.
But really enjoyed them both.
I think that's one of the appeals to golf is you can play so many different, like even if you're a fan of either Parkland or links golf, you can still go out and play links and have the same elements to it. But every course offers you something different. Yeah. You can go out and play 18 holes and know that you've put aside your day to go out and play this 18, but go, oh, it's a links course. Like, again, play down at the King's Links or go out and play Cruden Bay. Both links courses, but you're not going to get the same experience out of both. You're going to get something different. I think that must be part of the appeal to so many people when it comes to playing. Just that ability to go out and play somewhere different. Have you got anywhere that's on the bucket list where you go, this is a course I really, really want to make sure I've played in my time?
Yeah, I've just said Inverurie.
Inverurie is just the main one for the area.
I think if I mention it enough, then hopefully somebody will listen.
Somebody will listen and take it in. Anywhere outside of Scotland?
There's no chance. Yes, I haven't played much at all out west. I was watching the PGA Tour last night, Port Royal in Bermuda.
Yeah.
That's one where I have played. But, we watch PGA Tour pretty much most weeks at home. And there are such magnificent courses there. There's so many I'd like to play. I like watching the WM at the Phoenix Open, where the fans go absolutely mental on the par 3, I think 16. On the sort of stadium, they set it up now as a stadium, throwing their beers and throwing the cans out and stuff. I'd like to play there.
Yeah.
Probably not with that going.
I was going to say, maybe not with that crowd, yeah.
Although, if you hit a good approach shot, it would be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, just something about just the sort of the desert, the blue skies, it's such a contrast to what we've got in Scotland.
Yeah.
That's one that stands out. Yeah, there are courses like Augusta and Pebble Beach, some of these iconic courses I would love to play. But for some reason, that's one that stood out where I thought, that'd be really cool to play there. The Golf National in Paris, just because of the dramatic Ryder Cup victory there.
Yeah.
That one looks cool. I'd like to go there. But for some reason, TPC Scottsdale, where they play the WM Phoenix Open.
Fair.
I think,
that's got an appeal. I got a collection at home after Dad passed last year. I got all his golf stuff which left behind to me because obviously it was a case of go out and play, and all the markers from different courses that he's played. So there's Dubai, there's all sorts in this bag, and I'm looking at them all going, do I add these to my bucket list or do I just keep the markers and be like, yeah, I've played here. I've played at this one totally over there. I think. Do you know something, for me, do you have a preference between links or Parkland? Do you have a preference of which you'd rather go out and play more regularly?
Yeah, I like links. Having, it's been Montrose, then Murca, then Rollabry for me, and I do like links. Something about that, just that brutal links test, which every now and then gets the better of you. But if you do manage to, shoot a half decent score, enormous satisfaction. It's just what I'm used to, just what I really, what I really like. And certainly, some of my favourite courses in Scotland, the likes of, Kingsbarns and Near, places like that, and links courses.
Links based.
But in saying that, I quite like going inland just as a
break.
Aye, it is. In no way is that condescending to those that play inland courses, because a lot of them are really tough, but it's a little bit of a breather.
Yeah.
It's a little bit gentler. Your ball doesn't sort of bounce at right angles and the wind is so right into the middle. So I do like it as a contrast, but
Yeah.
all my favourite courses, are
Link style.
links.
I grew up playing the King's Links and then moved up to Hazelhead and finding a difference there of all of a sudden being like, where's the wind? What do you mean I can hit the ball straight and it keeps going straight? I don't have to aim left for the 40-mile-an-hour wind coming in to bring it back into the side from it. Ooh, interesting.
No wind or light wind or shelter from the wind.
Aye.
It confuses me at first. Like, what's going on?
I was so used to playing bump and run golf as well all the time on the shorter things because there was very little in the way of, greenside problems. Everything was quite easy to play because the ground at links is usually a little bit firmer. If you try to bump it on the part, it just doesn't run. You get the bump part and it doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't get to the green. It's a bit embarrassing.
It's like, oh, well, that's kind of let me down. What's your handicap just now?
6.
6? Oh, I've got a way to go. We're not playing around together anytime soon.
It's going, the older I get, the more it's going up.
My lowest was 11. I think I'm playing off a 14 just now. So. And that's not bad because I only play, again, we spoke about this before, and I don't play during the winter. I only play for a few months during the summer. It started at 20 at the start of the season. It was down to 14.
That is good. That's good. Going 80. I think it's, get this right now. Yeah, I think for 18 handicap or below, you're in the top 20% of golfers in the world.
I'll take that.
Because the majority that play, either don't have a handicap or they just play every now and then.
Aye.
Or they that's not a level that they get to. So if you're going from 20 to 14,
I'll take that.
Going the right direction. You're going one way, I'm going the other way.
We'll meet in the middle.
Probably see in the middle.
I was going to give it a few months, we'll balance out. What else, other than golf, what else kind of takes your time? What else do you like to spend your time doing outside of when you're away from the work? What do you like to do to catch your breath and reset yourself?
Golf, walking the dog, and reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are my three things for switching off. And I, it's not to do with work. Like I'm not, when I go golfing, a phone stays in the car.
Yeah.
If I go out with the dog, I'm not listening to a podcast, I'm spending time with the dog. If I read, I'm not reading, at home, business books. These are my three switch off things.
I think it's having those set boundaries for yourself is a really beneficial thing to you as well. It's nice to know that dog's got to lead on, we're going outside, everything else work-wise, anything else just doesn't matter for the next however long you're out. And it's a lovely thing to have when we've got a dog at home, again, another shared connection between us. And it is that time where you just go, nah, it's just me and the dog. Yeah. Like I get up at 6:45 every morning to take him out for that first walk of the day. I roll out of bed, just chuck on a pair of shoes, chuck on whatever, and I'm straight outside with the dog. And that time I find is quite nice to settle in and reset for the day. Just to really go, okay, I'm out of bed. I'm not doing anything work related right now, but this is my brain starting to tick over and find itself waking up for the day. And again, reading, it's a massive thing for so many people that they don't think is a way of disconnecting your brain from everything else that's going on. Have you got a genre that you kind of fall into? Is there a particular style of book or an author that you follow?
Yeah, I read a lot of Second World War books. I did a bit on, it's going back a bit, I don't know what it's called now. It's called 6-Year Studies. I was a boy back in the 1920s.
Yeah.
And that was about Weimar Germany and then the lead into Nazi Second World War. Just a real fascination, and an excellent history teacher at school as well. And yeah, that's has been my genre in all aspects of the Second World War. And yeah, at first it was more the kind of the war in Europe, but then got the war in Africa and into the Pacific as well, the war in Russia. And yeah, I just found the sheer scale of the conflict, and also that so many things that happen then are still impacting in different parts of the world just now. And yeah, just that bit that you said, I appreciate that people read for different reasons, but I read because I'm into the topic, but also I'm reading to take my brain, away from the work things that I've been thinking about, and to really engage in a book for me to pick up on what's going on. I've got to fully engage in that. And then of course when I put that down after however long, could be 3 minutes, could be half an hour. Yeah, it's taking my brain away from work on something else.
Do you have set times that you put aside for these activities? Like, do you have specific days that you'll go out and golf? Do you have particular times of the day where you'll put aside just for reading? Obviously, I mean, dog walking is usually the dog will tell you when it's going outside regardless.
There's no escape.
But yeah, do you have any sort of specific routine that you tend to follow to make sure you're giving yourself time for these tasks?
Yeah, try to. Yeah, I try to read a little bit every evening. That's what I mean. It could just be if I was getting back later from work or there was something on, it could just be 2 or 3 minutes, but I try to read a little bit each day and then more at the weekends.
Yeah.
Give a chunk of time Saturday and Sunday. The dog walking, you're right, the dog the size that never stops.
Yeah.
And then golf, would try to be golfing, Friday and Sunday at this time of year.
Yeah.
And then go to the range out with that. But knowing with the golf, again, this time of year, you get a fine mild spell and everything's good. Or you could go a few weeks where never get in the course, but still go to the range and still hit ball.
Still give yourself that time to be like, this is my time for this activity. This is when I'm going out and doing this thing.
Yeah, I passed the King's Links on the way home. We're in Bridge of Dawn, off Bonnecourt Crescent. So I'm pretty much before I go around the beach, I'm driving past the King's Links. And I've seen me go in there. It's the same principle as reading or anything that somebody's into to switch off. That go in there and heads just bursting with work and thinking, just do we going home, thinking, well, that's no, going to go in there, even just hitting 25 balls. Yeah. You feel different after the 25th ball compared to when you're hitting the first one.
I'm a fan of 50 balls is my limit at the links. Do you know what gets me? It's always baffled me when someone goes, I'm hitting 100 balls. I'm like, if you're needing to hit 100 balls, if you're hitting 100 out on the course, like having 100 strokes on the course, you're still not hitting 100 balls because you've got X amount of putts or whatever you're doing in the middle of it. It's like, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to hurt yourself if you're hitting 100 balls down at the range. I could never convince myself to do 100 balls down at there. Don't know how they manage it.
No, I speak to one of the golf pros there, Fraser Clark. It's from Fraser's excellent. And he was asking how I was practicing. I was saying 50 balls sometimes. The other times 25. I said that's fine. Yeah. Because you've also, how long are you going to concentrate for? How long are you going to be focused for? Are you going to stick to your target, stick to what you're supposed to be practicing? Can your body cope with that as well?
Yeah.
100 balls, probably. I get if you're working on something specific.
Yeah.
And therefore there's a swing move and it's just you really got to repeat. But to be able to concentrate and do that, aye. So I just see lads hitting or golfers at the range hitting like 100 drivers. Like, yeah, surprised you're sweating.
I'd be done. My back would just be like, no, my shoulders would have given out.
These drivers around, so how can you manage to?
Exactly. They've got these new things, obviously with the Tracksman style they've got, where you can actually like play a course on the thing. I like the idea of doing that, because it'll be like, okay, this is a par 4, I'm hitting my driver here, then I'm going to hit up, because it's obviously mixing up your play. It's giving you more real life comparisons. It's almost like you're playing around to practice it.
Yeah, and focus on each shot.
Yeah,
we try to do in the course.
But at the same time, you're hitting it off of the mats 9 times out of 10, which is never going to feel the same as it is when you're hitting it off the grass. I say grass if you're lucky enough to find the fairway.
Yeah,
it's not very often I hit things off the grass. It's more out of the grass, to be honest.
It's been a great thing though for the links. They've got much much busier because TrackMan. It's just a different. Yeah, it's a different way for people to experience golf. I think it's a great thing.
It's a nice bring in, and again, that we spoke about it beforehand. The lack of necessity to be a part of a club to take part in golf. It's a great thing for the sport as a whole. I think it is impacting clubs quite a bit. Like, I don't know how Royal Aberdeen feels its clubhouses sort of busyness wise now compared to what it used to be like before. I mean, even the drop off in membership for most clubs has been significant to the point where they're not all struggling to survive, but they're certainly noticing an impact on it. Do you find that the Royal Aberdeen's a bit quieter now than it used to be before in the clubhouse, I suppose?
Yeah, I think every club has these pressures. Just that golf is such an old game, which is one of its strengths. But you have golf courses, clubhouses that come from different decades, come from different centuries. Time. There are other demands in people's time. There are more demands on people's time. Therefore, something that is generally takes up a lot of time and is generally expensive, is going to be less attractive, or it's going to be attractive to smaller numbers of generations coming through. And that's why I think things like, essentially putting games, into the range with TrackMan, which is what they're doing, is a great thing. Royal Abbey's very fortunate in that it's got there's a high tourist revenue at Royal Aberdeen. It's limited, the membership. but it's got a very supportive membership as well. That doesn't mean it doesn't have its pressures, like
Yeah.
because it's golf's such a seasonal game. Clubhouse is an older building, but yeah, it's tough for golf. I'm very passionate about anything that encourages more kids, especially,
Yes.
to look at the game and to get into the game and stay in the game. Is massive. Otherwise, there'll be wonderful courses that'll be going out of business in 5 or 10 or 50 years' time, and we don't want that to happen. And golf's got to change, it's got to evolve. It's evolved over the last 50 years, got to evolve over the next 50 years. And those in golf that are resistant to change are killing the future of golf. It's not going to be the same as it was back in 1975.
No,
So
exactly.
we're okay with that change. There's got to be more change. So that's why the TrackMan, the games, the fish game, whatever it is, and
Yeah.
bad.
The thing that brings in that younger audience is
Yes.
beneficial, because again, like I said, when I was younger, I was in the clubhouse from a young age. I was getting to know the club, the rules, and I think it helps with the old course etiquette style of thing as well, that a lot of younger people are getting. I don't want to say, I get indoctrinated into it, but there's a lot of course rules that a lot of your long-standing members, your long-standing players we're all quick to complain about it. People not repairing their divots or doing whatever they're doing. But it's these things that we all learned playing at a younger age. We learned from a very young age, respect the course, respect the other people who are playing on it, treat it with the right kind of attitude. Whereas people who aren't coming in as younger members of clubs now don't learn these, not necessarily don't learn them, but it's not part of their knowledge of the sport as a whole. I think that's a massive thing that's missing, is just that spirit of people getting involved in the game from a young age, allowing them to connect with the club and other players and courses a lot more as well.
Yeah. And I don't know what the answer is to that. But
Yeah.
we were the same. It was someone chose Mercantile Golf Club, the Merky, and there was a junior section, and there's a junior convener. There'd be there'd be father and son or adult parent parent-child games. There would be juniors against gents, students, ladies, and it's probably a time and it was a place where just a random adult, if you didn't put back a divot or didn't, repair a pitch mark or rake the bunker after you'd come out, they would come over and you'd be telt, but also be demonstrated, what to do. Same thing for us. We learned that etiquette. You're right, people that get into the game in different ways, that's a great thing. We'd rather have them in the game than not have them in the game.
Definitely.
But I agree there needs to be that bit, because it's awful to play some courses, including some that we've mentioned, and divots not put back, and the pitch marks. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
But if somebody doesn't know that, we shouldn't assume that it's common sense.
Exactly.
We need to find a way then to help these newer girls, whether they're coming in at age 15 or 45.
Yeah, I think
That's what the answer is.
there needs to be some form of, obviously I think it's different for clubs that are connected to the municipal courses, because obviously the municipal courses get a lot more foot traffic, I suppose you would call it, more passing by traffic. You'll get people who literally just play the game and aren't a part of the club. And I suppose even the tourist side of things, 9 times out of 10, if a tourist is coming to play golf at Royal Aberdeen, they're a golf fanatic anyway. They know their golf before they come over and play these kind of places. But that guidance from being in a club is so huge to so many people. I don't know exactly what the solution is either, but I'd like to think there's something that can be done for anyone to put on these kind of little things. The olds, I don't even carry a rule book in my bag anymore, which I used to. Just some form of little guide of basic etiquette that everyone can have access to. I think that's a lot of people don't have the same access to teaching or coaching that we used to have when we were younger.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
But clubs, you're right, the club gives it the focus. But I believe that the golf clubs need to have a more modern outlook.
Yes.
And that
100%.
golf clubs are generally kind of providing the same things, the same service that they were decades ago. So what else can golf clubs be doing? Can it be more of a community hub? Can it team up with, I don't know, cycle clubs or running clubs? To get more people in.
Yeah.
What can they do? To make it more attractive for people to join the club, to see golfing, say, that's great, I'm on the course. My natural next step is to join a club as well and get those benefits.
Yeah, Hazelhead's quite lucky in that it has the running club that use the park for their runs.
Yeah.
They come in on a Saturday after they've been for a run, you'll still have 15, 20 people coming in for a coffee on a Saturday after they're finished. They know, you know, we're finished up here, we might as well go somewhere for a coffee. Everyone's going to socialise. It's part of their own thing. So they've connected to the club in that way, which is beneficial to the club, and that they've got people coming in and putting money across the bar, which helps it keep going. But it also, as bad as it sounds, it makes the club feel busy, which means when the golfers are coming in, they feel like they're actually coming in and being a part of something as well.
Yeah.
But again, getting away from that older mentality of this is our club. We are a golf club. We'll always be a golf club. We can't let anyone else come in.
These are gone.
I know. And they need to accept that. Yeah. I think there's a lot of changes coming along that people need to be a bit more open to. I won't say comfortable with, because change is never easy for everyone, but we need to be open to the option of change at least. Speaking of change, what's happening with you for the rest of this year? Have you got any plans for the rest of this? Obviously, people will be seeing this on the 1st of December or beyond. What's the rest of this year looking like for you?
It's busy. It's busy times in November.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of training, delivery,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been good. We've been very good so far in terms of of proposals going out, of new clients on board, delivering in the new year.
Mm.
December, things will slow down that little bit.
Yeah.
And that's great. I'm looking forward to that. Personally, so for both, but professionally for both Siobhan and I, there's a chance to catch breath. It's been fast growth for such a young business, such a small business.
Yeah.
But we need to catch breath personally and professionally as well, to review what's gone, and to make sure that we're planning properly for next year. Have the best part of a couple of weeks off because January to March is very busy already for relationship building training clients. And also, having been in the business networking sector so long, January, February are naturally busier months as individuals and companies make business New Year resolutions. Say, this is the year we're going to commit to it, and we can help them, commit more to it and to tailor that. So there will be that deliberate slowing. Our Intel groups, for example, I think how they meet once a fortnight, always in the same meeting cycle. So the way the dates work out, they might have 2 meetings, they might just have 1 meeting, and then we're into Christmas. So that slowing down will be good for everyone, because January to March will be real busy.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's that same, everyone starts with the best of intentions at the year, but it's finding that right connection, that right group to make it stick. And I think, coming through, again, from our own experience of working alongside yourselves and just chatting with you outside of the work aspect, KLT is definitely a group that's worthwhile coming on. Are you still taking on more business now? So do you still have a lot of opportunities, a lot of availability for people to come to you and set things up for the new year? Or are you just like, hang on, we've already got too much?
Yeah, January on the two different parts for training.
Yeah,
there wouldn't be any available dates now in January, but there are some in February and in March. So very interested in speaking to individuals, speaking to businesses about their plans for their team for next year. On the Intel groups, most are full now. But not all are full at the moment. So we're keen to speak to companies that say, we want to win more business. Can you help us to do that? And that's what we do.
What's the best way for businesses or companies or even small startups to get in contact with yourselves? And emailing, coming through you directly, going through the business website? What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Yeah, whether it's via LinkedIn or emailing, it's to have that chat for a start, because we wouldn't recommend anything that we do, and maybe what we do isn't a fit, So we just want to have a chat first, find out more about them, what their goals, what their plans are. So it's been in touch via socials. We get a good number of inquiries through via LinkedIn. We'll get in touch by email for that initial chat before we need to have more understanding first. Then we'll happily make a recommendation.
Well, there you go. The contact details to reach out to yourself via LinkedIn or via the website will be on our description at the bottom of this. So if people are watching this and have any interest and want to find out more, key thing is find out more to start with. I think there's too many people commit to something without that initial sit down and chat. It's the same with anything. If you're reaching out with someone to try and benefit yourself, don't just go with what you've seen online or read online or heard from other people. get in contact and find out more for yourselves first. I think it's one of the most important parts that I would class as networking straight away, is finding out more about what you can do for other people and what other people can do for you, instead of just going, oh, I need a marketer. There's a marketing company. I'm going to sign up to this. There's a coach. I'm just going to sign up to this coach. That'll be easier.
Yes, the networking expression I heard years back of interested before interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that, we're not there just to blab about us.
Yeah.
We don't want somebody to phone and say, yes, we do this, we do that. Oh, that's great, but it might not fit for this person. Be interested, find out more, have the two-way chat, then see about going to the next stage.
Well, there you go. That's a wonderful tagline to tie things up for this episode. It's like he's a professional who's done this before. Andrew, thank you very much for getting and chatting to us. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you a bit better, find out a bit more about the golfing journey alongside the working journey, and also to know that your interest lies with the historic war aspect when it comes to reading. Add that to the list of things to buy for Christmas. I can't thank you enough for coming in. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. Really enjoyed it too.
Anyone wants to find out more about KLT Networking, you can do so via the links in the description down below this. If you are new to our content, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn or all the socials. The links are down below in the comment section. And again, if you listen or watch these on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever, be nice. Give us a 5-star review, even if it's not for me, at least for the guests, to show them that you've enjoyed them coming on. Any suggestions for future guests, you can email us at the email address below. And if you're interested in being a part of these via sponsorship or crowdfunding, or even just coming on as a guest, don't hesitate. Reach out to us. We can sit down, boil the kettle, and find out a little bit more about who you are and what you want to offer. We'll see you in next week's episode. Take care, and thanks for watching.